How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Friday night live stream. There's no one here right now, of course, because I just started it, but you join, then ask any questions, leave any comments, and we'll just talk about whatever we want to talk about. Make sure if you do join, hit that thumbs up button so it gets out to more people. How's it going? All one person in here right now. I hope you're having a fine evening. Just messing around with the stuff on here. I guess you can insert ads, which is kind of weird. How's it going, everyone joining? Friday night, ask away, any questions, things like that. So, just kind of looking for wheels right now for fun and for seriousness. How's it going, everybody? How's it going, everyone joining? Fender flares are going fine. They're just at paint right now, so just gotta wait. They gave me a time frame of Wednesday. They were gonna start it on Wednesday and then see about like 4 days afterwards, I guess. So maybe tomorrow I'll hear something. I don't know. I'm hoping I hear something soon though. Original 2006 horn blew out last week. Hella Supertones. I just have the stock ones. I had hella horns on my last car, and I liked them, but probably would be good to put in some new horns, so I'm sure it'll work out. It'll work out nicely for you. I haven't had any issues with mine, but I also don't use it very often. So, NB horn and NC. You probably could. I mean, most horns are pretty standard, so whatever one you put anywhere, really, it should work out pretty fine. Yeah, the real issue with the car is like on the highway, if there's been times I've been right next to someone and I've honked, they can't really hear it. All right, I'm gonna send you guys a link. So I'm looking for wheels right now. One of if I could ever get them, I think the Blitz wheels look really good. I can't remember which model. Let me see. Oh, the Type 3. Yeah, those ones kind of look like. Besides them being like one piece instead of 3-piece. Yeah, they look. I mean, they look pretty cool. I would. I don't know. You should turn them into something cool, like a table, like a coffee table. I've also seen people mount them to their walls on the outside of the house, and use them as like a hose reel. That's pretty cool too. BMW makes some good wheels. I mean, they don't make them, but they collab with like BBS and things like that, and they always look really good. That's awesome. Yeah, do the hose reel. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a problem with most of the Miatas. So what year do you have? Yeah, so on the 2006, you have the oldest. For one, your seatbelts are gonna be old, but they also made a recall, not a recall, but there's a new design for the plastic thing that's on the seats that has a different opening. So on mine, it gets caught in that opening that guides the seatbelt guide. So if you go get a new one, I think they're like $30 for both of them, but it's just a new plastic piece and it makes the seatbelt slide in and out a lot easier. And it's a Mazda part and everything, so another thing people do is if you retract it all the way out and use like a furniture cleaner or something and just really wipe them down good because they get kind of nasty too. Anything that touches and moves, you gotta lubricate it or clean it. I did think about going bigger on the wheels, but I don't want to. The only reason I don't want to go 18 is because I would keep a 17 on the front because I like the way the 17s fill the wheel well in the front, and I can do a little bit bigger of a tire, which is nice. So I know I think that I don't want to do an 18 rear, 17 front because I feel like it's such a short wheelbase that it might look like a Hot Wheels car or something. So I think a 17 will be good as long as I get the right size tire. 17 BB tires go. Yeah, that's the thing is like I know I'm getting the fender flares and everything, and I know it's like I'm kind of pushing that edge of like stanceness and functionality, and I still really do like driving my car. Um, so with the fender flares, I can do bigger tires, obviously, and wider wheels. So that will definitely be a bonus. So I want to hit like just that edge of the right. I want the right fitment is what I want. Right. It's hard. It's a hard choice. All right, so I'm sending you guys. I'm posting a link for that seatbelt guide. That's just for one on eBay. It's $18. That's the kind that you need to get because it's a wider slot for the seatbelt. So if you get both of those, you'll be good, and you shouldn't have the issue anymore. 215. Yeah, so you got a little bit wider of a wheel. Because I have 205s on a 7 inch wide wheel. Pretty low. Yeah, I did. I mean, I made a video on rolling the fenders with a baseball bat, and actually, it didn't turn out bad. I just needed to roll them like very slightly, so I didn't mess anything up. But no, I haven't had any issues with the vents still, and I don't think I'm going to. It's rained. I don't have covered parking at work, and it sat in the rain, and I've driven home in the rain. I haven't had any issues, so I don't think I'm going to. Make sure you guys do that thumbs up when you join. I watch a little bit of both actually. Um, I don't. They're not like my main YouTube people that I watch. But Boosted Boys is pretty cool. I'm not super into Hondas though, but I think what they're doing is really cool and um, it's entertaining to watch. And Cletus is just the thing is like his builds are so beyond what I would do that like I like watching it, but it's like it's more entertainment than like educational. I do watch. I actually have the shirt on right now, the Tommy F. Yeah shirt. I do watch his channel and like all those Haggard guys that split off. I kind of been most of their stuff is what I watch, and I watch like B is for Build. Um, who else? That dude in blue, of course. His videos are pretty good most of the time. I follow pretty much everyone within like the same sphere of things. It's actually a whiskey and ginger ale. I try to like so the last 3 live streams I've had like a different drink. So the first week was just beer. Last week was old fashions. This week is ginger ale and whiskey. Irish whiskey to be precise. Yeah, they're really good. And they're so easy to make too. I mean, and it's only it is. But yeah, it's probably one of my favorites as well. It just tastes so good and you can sip on it for a long time. can put people in timeout. I know people write rims instead of wheels. I don't know why it just sounds so weird. Our collection. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have a couple whiskeys, scotch, kind of those things. Then we have, like, I don't know, all the regular stuff that you would need to make cocktails. If that's what you were asking. I can't see a photo. I just see, it just says that. It just says our collection. And that's it. I have it set to where... Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good amount of stuff. I don't have anything that you have, but you also don't have anything that I have. Yeah, there's a lot to choose from, so it's all... I've been watching a channel called How to Drink, and they say that the no, like no matter what you make, like the best drink is the one that you like the most. So like even if you make yourself something with crummy alcohol and you like it, then it's the right drink for you. So feel like that's a pretty good way to think about it. Yeah, the only bottle that we have is we went to Ireland last year and we got a bottle of whiskey from the Jameson distillery. And it was like $65, but you can't get it. You can only get it there. The only place you can buy it is at the distillery. So we got that and we only drank it a little bit, but we still have some left. But normally we buy like Jameson is our like mid-range whiskey that we would get, and I think it's like $25. So that's kind of what we spend around here. Um, let me look at something really quick. And then I'll answer it for you. For $219, it's kind of expensive. Yeah, I mean, you're replacing something that can break, but if you lose power steering, the worst thing that happens is you lose your power steering fluid. Right, yeah. You lose your power steering fluid and your pump goes bad and you fill it back up. You'll know right away that you don't have power steering. I mean, it's cool and it would look nice. I mean, if I had $219, it might be like last on my list of things to buy. But cuz it's weird cuz I think the coolant tank is only like, yeah, I think it is more cosmetic. Let me see something. So it's $219 for the coolant tank. It's $249, so it's $30 more, and it's like 3 times the size. I don't understand the pricing. I don't know if I understand the pricing on that. That's true as well. I mean, you always end up at a couple meets where like it's usually like the older guys that like to open their engine and show things off. They're like, come on. The Miata's engine is pretty plasticky, and you can't even really see the header. You can't, I mean, if you had an intake, I guess you could see the intake. But, I mean, it's like, yeah, the coolant tank is more likely to crack. If you have a 2006 model and you still have the stock coolant tank, I would go check it and make sure it's not very old looking. Because that's, I mean, unless you're hoping that your engine explodes and then you can get a 2.5. But yeah. Solid metal top on the ND. I don't remember. I went, where is that? 2.5 comes from a couple cars. It comes from Ford, Fusion, and I think the Mazda 3. Not the Speed 3, but the Mazda 3. I think they share the 2.5. Yeah, and it's funny with if you're driving your NC and your engine explodes or catastrophically fails or whatever, um, it's cheaper to get a 2.5 engine and put it in than it is to find a 2.0. So you're almost better off. I mean, a lot of the parts swap over and everything. Like, you got to buy some new stuff to make it fit, but you don't have to change motor mounts. You can swap over. There's a few things I think like the oil pan and things like that. You can just swap it right over. Yeah, you can get 2.5 with an auto. I mean, at Ford Fusion, I'd imagine 90% of those are automatic. So the transmission should mount up. A lot of people do it too. I mean, it's a very common swap to do, so it wouldn't be surprising if it could just swap right over. Yeah, you might as well just keep it. But with 18,000 miles, I mean, you can start like I mean, you could get a motor for if you saved up like $300, you could get a motor and start building it. Not building it like a crazy horsepower like build, but building it as in you get the motor, you get the oil pans, you get the new stuff for it, and you just build it up over time until you're ready. A lot of people do that where they just get all the parts for it and just sit on them until their engine actually explodes. I'll be right back, guys. All right. Yeah, you could if you did a turbo, you could always just save it too. Have any plans on doing anything with your intake manifold? I've seen the motor intake 1500 is pretty steep. Um, I mean, my car's coming up on 100,000 miles, so I mean, I'm not gonna mess with it right now. I mean, that'd be a nice upgrade to do, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Just you need to use it in the right application. Like if you had a lot of other mods, like I wouldn't just buy it and stick it on, but if you had everything else and then you got it tuned and everything, it'd probably be pretty good. I convinced this company to make one. SS Autochrome. I know, so I would look into like Dinotronics. That's where I got my tune, and that's where a lot of other people get stuff. They just made they made a big batch of them, of custom ones, so. That's funny, they made one for the Tiburon. Because I had that, so the Kia I had, they had that Beta 2 engine, and it was the same motor in the Kia. So like I always grabbed parts from the Tiburon and put it on. Yeah, that Beta 2. It's funny that they share engines, but like, okay, yeah, that's the what is it? What was it called? It was whatever trim model was above it. No, I didn't have to modify the inside of my fender guards or whatever. Just depending on, if you have stock wheels, you'll be fine. You can just lower it. Obviously, if you go crazy, you might have to mess with it, but you'll be fine otherwise. I still have mine. I haven't had to do anything to them. So, okay, so the intake manifold they make for Dinotronics. The one for Dinotronics is $850. But it's mainly for the 2.5. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I live stream every Friday, so like you can still always ask questions and everything on the videos, but like if you want to talk like one-on-one, I'm always here Fridays. This is the third week doing it, so yeah, Friday nights. I don't know what time zone you're in, but like between 8 and 9 I'll start Central Time. Live stream Miata meet. Yeah, I've actually live streamed a few meets. So the first meet I went to at Fuel City, I did a live stream on that one and the rooftop meet. I haven't gone to a ton of meets. There've been a few since the last one I went to. But I don't know. My car, I'm just weirdly particular about it, and like I don't like that it's broken. Thanks for following, man. I really appreciate that. I'm happy to see that people follow it and like if you learn something, see something you want to do. But speaking of the wreck, I do have. Oh, I just got a photo of my fender flares. Oh man, they look good. Wow, that's crazy. I just got the photo. All right, I'll send it to you guys. Let me see how I can save this. I can download it. All right, that should work. Yeah, it does. That looks awesome. They nailed it. Wow. Yeah, the fitment thing, I'm really worried because, like, I wish there was a place you could go where you could just, like, test fit wheels of different sizes. Just, like, pick something off the shelf. I don't even care what the wheels look like, but just, like, pick something off the shelf and stick it on to make sure it fits. Yeah, I really like the color. For a while, I was really hoping I could find like a true red, but now that I see, like, so I don't really see that many of the copper red, so I'm really liking it. The true red is an awesome color. It really is. Like, if if you're gonna get a Miata, in my opinion, like, you cannot go wrong with the true red or the British Racing Green. I think both those colors are so awesome. I mean, I think all the colors are great, but the True Red and the British Racing Green. It's a pretty nice color. Oh, the storm blue color looks good, and the white NDs do look awesome. I went to the when the ND first came out, they did a cross country like test drive event, and I went to it, and they had a white, a silver, and a dark red. I don't think it was the copper red. I don't think that's what they call it, but it was a dark red, a silver, and a white, and they looked awesome. We got to test drive them on an autocross course, a little drag course, and then an actual road course at Texas Motor Speedway. I haven't gone to any racing events. I used to go to, like, there's a drag strip that's like north of where I live, and I used to go to that. I really want to go to something at Circuit of the Americas. It's just all the way down in Austin, which it's not far. It's like 4.5 hours away, 4 hours away. But it's just like, it's probably one of the most boring drives that you can drive. But I'd love to go. I try to follow like Formula One and other stuff, and I'll watch racing if it's on TV, but not entirely. I haven't really gone to one in a while, so no, I haven't. I've watched it on TV though. I did follow that race. You go over here. It's really great. That's really cool. Yeah, I think like if you get to go down in like, what is it called, pit lane or whatever, it'd be pretty cool to go see it. I want to go to one. The thing is like they have a lot of races when it's like a little bit warmer out. But it gets so hot here. Like I couldn't imagine being out in the sun for that long. Let me look. Oh yeah, that's a nice color. You can't go wrong with white. And I love that Mazda did what they do, the black. Did they do the black windshield trim and mirrors already? But either way, it looks great. Facebook on the verified group forum other than me. I mean, I am. Are you talking about the NC page or just Mazda MX-5 group in general? I would. I had matte black with mine, but I painted it gloss black. After the accident, I took it off because it was kind of messed up, and I painted mine gloss black, and it looks awesome. I haven't put it on yet, though, so. Matte black looks nice, but the gloss black would really match like your mirrors and your window trim and everything. Hey, how's it going? Up north of 60? But yeah, if you get your car lowered and everything, it'll look really good. Oh yeah, I'm on that group, Rob. The NC Miata Facebook page. Yeah, Matt, if you're not in that group, you should definitely join. There's lots of good stuff there. Join that one and then the NC buy sell trade group as well. Pretty much anything. Basically, we're just talking NC Miatas and cars and really whatever you want to talk about. So feel free to ask away and we can chat. It's Friday night, just hanging out. I bet it looks pretty good. The Mazda 3 wheels after like 2009 and up, I think, is when Mazda really kind of came into their own with that like sharp look that they have on all their cars now. Yeah, I had the sport wheels on mine and they were nice, but they were 16. Like if they were 17-inch, they'd look a lot better, but they just looked small and they were kind of dinky. Yeah, I can see. I changed the chat to where I can see it. Yeah, those are pretty cool wheels. They're really unique looking. Mazda's been, I don't know if you guys follow like new cars or anything like that, but Mazda's just been killing it lately. Like all their stuff looks so good. Right, free stuff. Free stuff is always the best stuff. And yeah, Rob, there's a lot of info on there. Yeah, the new 3 hatch, they just announced that recently. It does look really good. All their cars look really sharp. Good and racing ducktail spoilers on the soft top line. Yeah, so on the power tracking hardtop, I think the fenders and I think the trunk is a little bit different. So you do need to get one specific to the car. If I were you, I would look at carbon Miata. What kind of off-road trucks do you like? We just got a Jeep recently, so. Oh yeah, the Tundras are cool trucks. Did you already read that story on the guy who drove in the fires with one? That was a pretty good little feature. I think they featured it on Speed Hunters recently. Nice. Speed Hunters is honestly like I've really looked for a while on like a website. Like I've gone to like Petrolicious, and other like those magazine websites, those car magazine websites that went from magazines and like turned into cars. And Speed Hunters is just all like the fact that they can put out like 2 or 3 new stories a day with like quality photos and writing and everything. It's always something new. You always find something on there that you like, and if you don't see anything that day, you can always search for something that you haven't read before. I really think it'd be cool. They do that I Am the Speed Hunter series where they let people write in. Granted, you have to be good at it and like take good photos and everything. I've always wanted to do something like that. That'd be really cool, but we'll all get there eventually, I guess. Classic being like what years? I would agree. So, as far as like Toyota trucks go, my uncle, I mean, I live in Texas, so there's a lot of farmland out here. My uncle lives out and does like actual farming, and I mean, there's so many old Toyota trucks out there. People still drive them. I mean, they're pretty bulletproof. And Top Gear does that thing with the Toyota Hilux, I think, and they've always used it. They think it's like the best truck. Yeah, the Hilux. But Matt, I do love like classic imports, like all the new 80s and 60s. Yeah, I mean, those are definitely cool. I really like the 80s imports. Like now that all the 90s cars are getting able to be imported like GTRs, now the Supras, like my dream